Does this sound familiar? You had to move, now your house is empty, and you still need to sell it. What are you going to do? That's today's topic, selling vacant homes. So how do you sell a house that's vacant? That is the $64 million question today, right? Okay, so there are a couple strategies that you can employ it's not the end of the world, things happen. I will say that I always think a home does look better when there's furniture in it. It makes it feel warmer, cozier, gives it a little bit of life. But there are exceptions to rule, like if your dog started chewing on your couch and it doesn't look that great. Okay, well that's the exception. But for the most part, you like to take your pictures with furniture in it. So if you know you're going to move, generally it doesn't just get sprung on you. Hey, you're moving tomorrow. That doesn't happen. Okay, so call your agent. As soon as you know this is going to happen, call your agent. Get them over there. Get the house prepped. Get the photographer in. Take your pictures. Now you can use them in the MLS, and then there's a secondary use, which we're going to talk about in just a few minutes. So hold tight. All right, so what can you do? One, you can rent furniture from a staging company. And some people are like, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. It's not that bad. And I'm not saying that you have to stage the whole house. I'm talking about like 4 or 5 areas, strategic areas, all right? So the first one would be the family room. It's the heart of the house. You definitely want to be able to make it feel warm and cozy, let people envision themselves living here, watching TV, etc. Put a few things, accessories in the kitchen, give that some life. You know, that's, like they say, it's the heart of the home. You want to make sure that it feels lived in. A third spot would be the master bedroom. The person coming to buy the house is going to be the king and queen of the castle. You want them to feel comfortable in the bedroom, and so you want to make it feel luxurious and make them, him or her or whomever, want to sleep there. A fourth important room is weird rooms. What do I mean by weird rooms? Rooms that people walk in, they're like, what am I going to do with this room? I have no idea. All right, so then you're like, who's my target buyer? So is it a family? Is it an executive? Is it a retired person? That will give you some indication about how to stage that room. So if it's a family, put little toys in there. If it's an executive, put a desk in there. Don't let them walk away and think, it's too much square footage, I'm never going to use that room. Don't let them do that. Give them the visual that you want, or plant the seed that you want them to know is possible in that room. As I mentioned earlier, why it's so important to have your pictures photographed early when there's things in there is you can blow up the images, especially if you use a professional photographer. Those high-def pictures will blow off beautifully. Look at these images behind me. This picture is the room I'm standing in. So people might walk in here and be like, well, that's a dining room. Oh, I don't ever use a dining room. This is a very casual house. So this picture is a perfect example of showing it where it's a more casual setting. It gives the person another perspective of that room and what they could do with it. Another thing is, if your house looks amazing at night, it is great to blow up the pictures. Look at this house, how this house looks like at night. Okay, so if your lighting in your backyard is phenomenal, if you get sunset views like this house, and later it gets city light views, I have one of those as well, put those out, because your first showing is going to be during the day. So that's a huge selling feature. That might set your house apart from somebody else, some other house that they're considering. So make sure that they know how great your house looks at night, because that's your marketing advantage, okay? So really important. The quality of your pictures is so important. I can't stress that enough. All right, so if you think furniture is way too expensive, there are a couple of things. First of all, staged homes, there's tons of articles about it. They do sell faster, and they do generally sell for more money. I see it all the time on my houses that I stage or redesign before we go live. And my clients will be like, I can't believe we got an offer that high. And I'm like, well, I'm not. So you might want to investigate that. The other thing is, I've heard some staging companies say that this might be considered a moving cost. If you're being relocated for your job, that might be considered a closing cost, and you might be able to write that off on your taxes, but I'm not an accountant, so check with your accountant and see if that is a viable deduction. Man, that would be great. All right, The other thing is, okay, so if you're not going to do the rental furniture thing, fine. Can you do some light staging? Ask your agent, do they offer that service? Do they have things that they can bring in, towels, tchotchkes, whatever, to do some light staging in the kitchen and the bathroom, just to give it a little bit of life so it's not so cold, not so stark. If you have things that you're not going to be moving, maybe the agent can use those to, you know, decorate the house. I find more stuff in people's closets and their garages and stuff, and I use them all the time when I'm, you know, redesigning or setting up a house or staging a house before we go live. So, you know, that's an option. The last one is virtual staging, and you're like, well, what's virtual staging? Do you ever go in the MLS and you see a picture of a house and you see the family room and then there's no furniture, and then you look at the next picture and there's furniture, and you're like, what happened? And you're like, that's virtual staging. And I wish people would label it so that people get what's happening, but it's basically just showing you what the possibility for that room could be. So, you know, that's another option. It's pretty inexpensive as far as moving things go. So now we know what to do on the inside of your house, but you still have to get people through the door. So I have provided my 10 tips for staging your house. Just click the download link below for additional information if you are getting ready to sell. If you have any additional questions, you can also leave me a comment or connect with me on social media. I'd love to connect with you. All my links are below as well. And don't forget to press the subscribe button so you know next time we post a new video, which is usually every Tuesday. I'm Michelle Miller with Michelle Miller Realty and Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Arizona Properties here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.